What up, guys? Kevin here with another episode of IGN Sucks. Because why? IGN sucks. And why do they suck today? They've never played a JRPG. They've never played anything outside of a PlayStation game, it seems like. When I read this tweet, let's read this tweet though. Emotional ties to characters and relationships within their worlds are the core pillar of Sony's storytelling playbook. And Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is no exception, with Peter and Miles' personal journeys taking center stage. Now, I've made my 2 videos on Spider-Man 2. You know, I'm the Xbox guy, I root for Xbox. So I just want to end it there. I don't need to pile on anymore, even though it's tempting the more bugs I see. But I played a little bit of Spider-Man 2, and I played quite a bit of PlayStation games. PlayStation storytelling is akin to the WB network or the CW network. I think that's what it's called now. Not to date myself with the WB. That's the storytelling. It's what? Smallville. Reba. Look, IGN, have you ever played a JRPG before? Have you played a Xenoblade Chronicles? Have you played a Tales of game? Have you played a Trails of game? Have you played a Persona? Have you even played a Atelier game? Have you played even games like outside the genre, like a Witcher 3 or even a Mass Effect or something that just... The thing here is, like, PlayStation looks at that. This isn't good for PlayStation. This isn't good for PlayStation. PlayStation, they see IGN just gloating, just like sucking their pee-pee about how great of the relationships and the characters and everything. And I'm just like, okay, you get a passing grade, but let's hold back. Let's hold back a little bit. I never walk away from a PlayStation game just feeling moved by the characters. I don't think there's any characters in any PlayStation games that I feel a very strong attachment to. I'm trying to think. No, maybe I think the most that I look up to, if that's, I don't think that's even the right word to say, but that I could attach myself to is Nathan Drake. That dude is he's a serial killer who looks for goofy treasure around the world. I get it. It's, if you haven't experienced a proper game, like a Tales of Berseria. Tales of Berseria is what did it for me, where I'm like, this is fucking storytelling. These are characters. This is something that has me on the edge of my seat. I just beat Tales of Symphonia last weekend. And you know what made that game great? Was its characters, was its relationships, was the places it went with those characters. You go on a fucking journey. And that's why JRPG is the best genre. And it all comes down to the power of friendship. And maybe PlayStation's get a little bit of taste of that. Like, oh, well, just Spider-Man's boring, but what if we had Miles Morales? It's like, okay, PlayStation, you're getting it, but to call it emotional ties to characters and relationships, like, all right, let's back up a little bit. They ain't there yet. No Western, I don't think there's any Western studios that are there yet. It's why I mainly play JRPGs. It's hard for me to play anything but JRPGs, is because they're so far advanced in terms of emotional storytelling and relationship with characters, multiple characters. The amount, like, Jesus Christ, I just beat Trails into Reverie, where that game throws like 50 characters at you and they do it so perfectly. Sony can do it for like two characters. 2 characters. That's the max. It's like, hey, we can have strong emotional bonds between 2 people. We can't throw in a third or a fourth or a fifth. They just can't do it. And to be fair, a lot of Western studios just can't do it. I'm not trying to pick on PlayStation. I'm picking on IGN here, who just, I don't know, they're trying to secure. There's nothing else coming out for PlayStation for quite a while. Maybe they want to make sure they get Wolverine. Well, Wolverine ain't coming out for at least another 2 years. So you can back off, IGN. You do not need to be sucking PlayStation's pee-pee this hard. Like, man, like Xenoblade Chronicles, too. That's the game I just beat last week as well. Future Redeemed. They brought back Shulk and Rex, who never interacted with each other. And then a set of like, what, 5, 6 new people? And the characters just watching them like attack each other early in the game and having a very fond farewell at the end. And again, the journey you go with them is something that PlayStation just cannot do. They just can't do it. But let's not crown them. They don't get the crown. IGN, whoever wrote this, play a JRPG. You could take any JRPG off the shelf. And the characters and the relationships, and most importantly, the power of friendship is going to be 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times better than whatever character building that they have in a PlayStation game. This is just, I don't, I feel like one day there's going to be a collective wake up that these games are shit. Like, yeah, a 30-hour Spider-Man 2, and that's if you do everything. That ain't it. That ain't it. It's a good weekend romp. It's a weekend, like, blockbuster film that you just immediately forget about. That's what these PlayStation games are. No PlayStation game. The closest probably The Last of Us that drew you into those characters. And again, that was 2 characters. But anyways, and I get it. A lot of people like these PlayStation games. Millions of people do. But millions of these people haven't played a really good JRPG. All right, I gotta go. That's today's episode of IGN Sucks. It's been a while. Don't worry, though. They've been sucking. I just laid off these videos for quite a while because it's just too easy. It was just like an everyday thing. Remember, it was like an everyday thing where IGN sucks. I'm like, I thought this would be maybe like a weekly format at most, not an everyday thing. But when I read something this dumb, you know I got to bring it back. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Later.